Another team where fans lost their minds yesterday again. Chelsea dropped. Listen, Spurs and Man United are in the mud this season. We know it. But the fall off of top Chelsea, in 2025 is massive. They dropped gargantuan points at home against Ipswich, the easiest team on paper they play for the remainder of the season. They dropped down to 6th in the league. But with the form of Villa, the form of Newcastle, the form even of Man City, considering like how poor they've been this season, City have still, picked up 2 wins and 2 draws in their last 5 games. When you look at that, is Chelsea's predicament around getting top 4 looking harder and harder? And do you guys agree in sacking Maresca, like a lot of Chelsea fans are asking for?
Yeah, I think the fall from grace Chelsea have had is how. I mean, 2-0 down to Ipswich, and Delat had them on strings at one point. I look at sacking Maresca. I mean, I never was really behind him in the first place that he's gonna go on and be a successful manager. But if Chelsea were to sack him, what do Clear Lake turn to now? Because if they don't finish in the top 4, you're looking at what, three seasons, maybe nearly 4 seasons down under this new ownership, 1.3, 1.4 billion, whatever it is you've spent, and you're no better than when they first come in. I think sacking Pochettino, and I'm not just saying this because of my Tottenham perspective, but I think that was a bad call. Towards the end of the season, he got them playing some good stuff. He had Cole Palmer playing really, really well. Now Cole Palmer looks a shadow of that player. But it's not only that, it's their entire front line. You look at their recent results. They're not scoring goals. 0-0 against Brentford, 1-0 loss against Arsenal, 0-0 1-0 win against Spurs. Okay, you beat a team in the Conference League 3-0. Struggling to beat Leicester 1-0. Okay, you beat Southampton 4-0, but there's no firepower really in there. And I do question if they keep Maresca, how many players is he going to need for Chelsea to get over the line? We all know they need a goalkeeper, and we all know they need probably a centre-back and a number 9 and maybe a midfielder. Do we think that this board's going to go out there and give Maresca the right players? I don't think so. I think he does need to go if they don't win. I think they'll win the Conference League, but even if they finish 7th or 8th, you can't spend 1.2, 1.3 billion and not be in that top 4. That is absolutely criminal. I think the system's got flaws in as well. The centre-back situation, I mean, Jesus Christ. The injury concerns they've got to Fofana and other players. I think it is a bit of a mess right now. Like, Chelsea is a project team now. But £1.3 billion to not be challenging for a league title is criminal. £1.3 billion to not have a competent goalkeeper.
The problem is that you turn into like Chelsea fans and do you think you're going to make Champions League football? No. Do you want Maresca sacked if you don't make Champions League football? Yes. Are you Maresca out? No, not yet, because because he played good football in the beginning of the season. Yes, maybe that was the form of last season. Maybe that was the form of what happened last season at the under Pochettino at the end of the season. Maresca has shown me that he went backwards, and he's so stubborn that I don't think he'll take Chelsea anywhere. I don't think that Chelsea will be challenging for the under Enzo Maresca. Based on what I'm seeing now, I think Chelsea need a top manager. And the problem is now some people are turning into the recruitment. You have had good recruitment. You have good midfielders. Your players played well last season at the end of the season. You need a better manager to implement a better style of play than having the fullbacks inverted and just copying Pep every single minute. Every single time you're copying Pep. Stop doing this. Stop playing that brand of football. Play something else. Go to the overlap thing. Why is Cucurella not overlapping to help Jadon Sancho or Pedro Neto on that left side? Because he wants to play that system that Pep plays. Bro, he went backwards. And I think I backed Chelsea in the beginning of the season to get top 5. I think Chelsea might finish 7th. It's 7th. It's atrocious for the amount of players they have, for the amount of money they spend. They might be playing Conference League next season if they don't win the Conference League. Imagine if they lose the Conference League and finish 7th. That would be hilarious, to be honest. After all the talk about we're going to challenge for the title this season, Maresca's this, Maresca's that. There are better managers out there. And I counted yesterday. There's about 12 managers in the league that are better than Maresca. Why Chelsea Football Club spend that much money and they have a manager that is not better than 12 managers in the league? Why you're talking about Marco Silva's better than him? You're talking about Horsler better than him. You're talking about Oliver Glasner is better than him. Why? Why did you could have got a better, you could have had Hansi Flick. You could have had Nagelsmann. You could have had a better manager than this. Who else in the league in terms of like, because I counted the managers that I would take before him. It's about 12 managers. Thomas Frank as well. We haven't even spoken about Unai Emery and the top 5 in terms of Pep, Arteta, Arne Slot. Why are Chelsea fans silent and you only target the board? The board are the ones who chose, yes, target them, but also Enzo Maresca is the head coach. He's the guy that is coaching the team. He played good football in the beginning, went backwards. That you can't be Ipswich. I don't trust them. I don't trust them to be any team at the current moment. Any team.
Have you seen the
fixtures? Imagine if we lose to... Fulham away, Everton at home, Newcastle away, Liverpool at home. I can't... Nottingham Forest away. Bro, crazy actually.
Is it crazy to say that... Is it crazy to say that Chelsea might not win a game for the remainder of the season? Because I don't think they'll beat Fulham. Everton, they're the draw specialists at the moment, aren't they? Liverpool, I'm not. I mean, Liverpool will be on the beach by then because they would have won the league. But still, then they've got Newcastle United away, Forest away, and Man United. Is it crazy to say that they don't win any of those fixtures?
I don't know. Can you put JJ's comment up, please? I'm just gonna tell you.
I'll come back to your question.
My good friend Don yesterday in a group chat said that Maresca is playing good football because the strikers are not converting chances, and his evidence is that Chelsea team has the second worst conversion rate from shots after Leicester City or Southampton or something. Or you got to look at the quality of these chances. You got to look at the gameplay. You have to look at how your midfield is wide open. Caicedo's left on an island. He's making Caicedo look bad sometimes. He's not making Palmer look. You have Cole Palmer, a gym at your club. Use him the right way. Cole Palmer has fell off a cliff. It's not because of Cole Palmer. And I'm going to defend Cole Palmer here. It's because of the system. It's so bad now for Cole Palmer that I'm looking at him and I'm like, maybe you should go, my friend. Maybe you should leave the club to go somewhere better. Maybe you go somewhere where you can be used better, JJ. I'm not saying you or most of but some Chelsea fans are still blinded by the fact that you have too many shots. But what about defensive errors? What about the midfield that is wide open? What about the wingers that are not converted? Yes, Sancho scored yesterday. Terry did the math. Sancho scored 1 goal, 1 assist since December. So we know that he has this in the locker. Why isn't Maresca putting him in the right places to perform? Because of the system. They're talking about Cucurella being your top goal scorer in 2025. It's because he puts Cucurella in the 18. He should absolutely do the overlap. Simple football. Why is he copying Pep? Why is he copying Pep all the time? You don't have Pep players. You don't have that much talent at your team to actually copy Pep. You have different style of play. And you have to play different style of play to implement it. So JJ, there are people that are still blinded by the stats and they do the stats thing. And maybe Don in the next episode or something, he just can tell you that we still play good football. Bro, it's ridiculous at the current moment at Chelsea. With that amount of money spent, you should not be finishing 6 or 7. You should not be finishing 6 or 7.
Yeah, do you know, I think it's such an interesting one. I don't think it's all about Maresca's system. I don't think it's all about the players being bad. I think there's a combination. One of the biggest elephants in the room is the lack of experience at Chelsea. And you've seen that since December. They did fantastically well, including Palmer, in this system. They looked great. They were second or third in the league. They were a win away from going top at that point. And then, of course, this is inevitable. You can't get away from this, Chelsea. You know, we've seen Piers Morgan this morning call out Man United and say, isn't it about time we took the tag big club away from Man United? Reminded me of what Mo, when he used to be on AFTV, as in the Arsenal fan Mo, when he used to be an AFTV said when he sort of was coining the phrase of Man United are an ex-big club. The problem is when people say these things is you talking about it is proof we're not an ex-big club because you're talking about it. Does that make sense? It's if we really were irrelevant, you would just stop talking about us, if that made sense. And this is the thing that Chelsea are going through because you're Chelsea. And I'm not saying just your recent history. 20 years is a long period of time. Over that period, were the most successful team in England in that time, well, up until recently. And, you won 2 Champions Leagues, multiple league titles, great records being set, brilliant players, iconic players that we will remember in 100 years' time. So the standard in terms of where people expect you to get to is up here. We all know it takes time, but then when you start showing signs of it, because I think from mid-September until mid-December, Chelsea were demonstrating a real level of class. They were winning games, they were dominating matches, they were scoring goals, and they put themselves into that title race position. Now, we're not going to have a title race debate because we all see it differently. When does it start? When doesn't it start? Etc. But aside from that, as soon as the pressure came on, as soon as the media started talking about title races, are you in the title race? Could you win the league? As soon as I saw their players do the whole, we don't even look at the league table, I went, oh, it's getting to them. It's getting to them. They're not just responding. Yeah, you could tell by their responses, there was like an excitement that they're doing so well. But then the pressure was on, well, keep winning then, keep winning. Oh, you lost. Got to win the next one. Got to bounce back. They have not been able to handle that as players, and the manager's young as well. So I think, listen, there are elements of Maresca's style and his football that need to be adjusted. I think there are individuals that need to be improved on. Colwell, not good enough to ever get Chelsea back to the level where they want him to be, as an example. You look at Jackson, not good enough. I don't think any of their attackers, barring Palmer, are good enough. They'll have moments, but I don't think any of them. Neto, still maybe there's an opportunity there, but still not enough output for a player that has his technical ability. Midfield, I think, is pretty good. They need to improve on it further, though. On top of that, they need to buy experience. They need to, and when I say people often go, but we bought Koulibaly, that didn't work. Okay, because of some experience signings that failed, well, you're never going to sign experience again. Doesn't make sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's crazy. You need to go and when I say experience, it doesn't even need to be an age per se. Players have played 200, 300, 400 games, have played at the highest level, have been in title races, been in cup finals, played at a high level or deep stages of international tournaments. They understand that pressure that's needed. I think you need to bring that balance in. And that's, for me, is why Chelsea are really struggling right now. And I brought up a couple of weeks ago, I run the numbers and just looked at their form from when they beat Brentford until the last Brentford game. And when you go through it, when you look at the numbers in that period, they're just not winning enough points. They're just not performing well enough in games to make the top 4. So for me, I'm still saying between 6th and 7th is where they're going to finish. And you can see it with your eyes. You don't even need the maths. City, Forest, Aston Villa and Newcastle are just that much better than them right now. Unless those teams, and this is where it's hard, it's not as though they're fighting one team for one place and Newcastle might fall off. What's the likelihood of Villa's, City's, and Newcastle's form all falling off and Chelsea's improving enough to win enough points? All 4 of those things happening at once, I think's 1,000 to 1 shot. I think they've got a very, very small chance now, Chelsea, of making a Champions League.
Do you think